Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in, thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm also very pleased about to bring you this Cadisen. This one just newly released. They contacted me a couple of weeks ago prior to release asking would I be interested in featuring it. I was like, yeah, cool. So they've sent it over, didn't cost me any money. That's not going to change anything though. We'll always keep things 100. The model number for this is a C8220. C8220. A few different color variations to choose from. I've gone for the orange one. It's a homage of a watch that I've had in my Amazon shopping basket for a while. This one comes in at about a third of the price. I was interested to see what they've done with it. Off the bat, there was one or two things I didn't like. Has that changed? As we go through the video, we will find out. There is an affiliate link in the description, so please feel free to use it. But I'm hoping, as I always say, by the time we get to the end of the video, you'll know if it's for you or not. If it is, please use the link as I say. But there's lots of questions I had when I saw the pictures and I saw what they were offering. Cadisen, generally, I do like Cadisen. I still believe the best watch they produced is their Cadisen Diamond. This one's been around for a long time, 9015 movement. Is this going to dislodge that? I guess there's no time like the present to find out. So thanks for tuning back in. It's about that time. Let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys, so this is the watch. This is the usual sort of packaging you will get from Cadisen. Nothing too extravagant. Outer cardboard box, inner box. Inside you get a cleaning cloth, some other bits and pieces. Not a lot of it makes much sense. They send the same sort of stuff for every watch. But then you're left with inner foam and the watch itself. It also comes on that bit of sort of cardboard also. But let's get all this stuff put to the side. The packaging isn't really that important with these watches. But there we go. That's the watch. What do you think so far, guys? Excuse the quality of the gloves as well, guys. Unfortunately, I've damaged my hands again. I have decided to purchase some better gloves, so you will be pleased to know that you won't be subjected to these long term. I've picked up some more expensive gloves that do the business. But yeah, as you'll tell from the thumbnail, this watch has definitely drawn inspiration from a more well-known watch. Looks nice, doesn't it? Very colourful, which is why I played on it in the thumbnail also. But yeah, this is the Cadisen C8220, very new, fresh off the block. This only came out a couple of days ago. I've endeavoured to get the review out for this because I've had it for a couple of weeks. They sent it to me pretty early in preparation for the release. So there you go. Inside, it's running a Seiko NH35 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. Rugged, reliable, all the bits that I've spoke about before, and everything that most other reviewers say about it. There's a good reason, as I've said previously, they use this watch movement in many watches at this point. It's inexpensive, it's reliable, runs pretty accurately, to be honest, as well. So yeah, there's lots to like about it. 24 joules, 41-hour power reserve. Yeah, all the good stuff you'd expect at this point. So that's the Seiko NH35 movement, also known as a 4R35 when in a Seiko watch. The construction of the watch, aside from the bezel insert and the crystal on the front, because there's no crystal on the back, is all 316L stainless steel. So it's a mixture of brushing and polishing. You'll see the brushing at the top of the lugs, polished at the sides. You've got the crown guards that are polished. The sides are polished. You've got brushed at the sides of the bracelet, polished at the sides, polished at the center, polished at the sides. You've got a clasp, all brushed. It's got a safety catch and double safety pushers. Yeah, not ideal really in terms of the pressed, but yeah, most of it is brushed. We have got some polished elements. So there we go. Yeah, 316L stainless steel. The case thickness of the watch is 12.5 millimeters. It's an extra mil with that Cyclops on top of there. So yeah, 13.7 mil exactly with the Cyclops. So there you go, 12.5, 13.7. The case diameter, you can measure from 9 to the 3 because that's where the crown isn't. It's coming at 40.2, and when you go from there to there, including the crown, it's coming at 43.4 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20. That does taper down to 16 mil and back up to 18 mil at the clasp. And the lug to lug, tip to tip of the watch is a true lug to lug. As you can see, it's got female end links of those center links. And it's coming at bang on 46 millimeters. So there we go. The bezel on this is actually really, really nice, to be honest. It looks like a ceramic bezel insert. Slightly different shade of sort of orange to the dial, but that's in keeping again with the watch's homaging. I'll let you listen. Even with the gloves on, it's very, very easy to turn, which isn't always the case when you wear gloves. But yeah, 120 click unidirectional bezel, one of the best bezels I've had from Cadisen, to be honest. So yeah, really, really good. The crown is situated down in the 4 o'clock-ish position. It's screwed down. You'd have seen me unscrew it before. As I say, not easy with gloves, but I'll still manage to get it done nonetheless. Excuse the drilling, guys. It's always the same. As soon as I start recording, the builders want to start outside. But yeah, screw down case back. You can see all the information on there that we're going to go through in just a moment. But yeah, screw down. Difficult to take these case backs off. I don't have the tool. I've said that many times. I do sort of prefer when they use the sort of one with the nodules. But there we go. Yeah, that's what you're left with. So there we go. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. The drilling just got a bit much. So yeah, that's the case back. The bracelet, as I've said, has got quite a bit of taper on it. Down to the fully pressed clasp, which is unfortunate. Signed on the safety catch. The crystal covering the dial. So the crystal itself is sapphire. As I tested it, unfortunately the Cyclops is mineral. I'm not so sure this watch needed a Cyclops on there anyway, but they proceeded to put it on. That's not really in keeping with the watch it's homaging either. So whether it needs to be there, I'm sure we'll discuss that a bit later. The water resistance of the watch is cited as being 200 meters, so that would give you 20 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right. It's just above 129 grams with 4 links removed. With those 4 links back in, you're probably pushing close to 150, which is normally the right sort of weight for a watch of these proportions. But there we go. So let's have a look at the dial here, guys, in just a bit more detail. So a beautiful orange dial. You've got a Rehout chapter ring going around the outer edge. You'll be able to see that. Really, really nice. Then inside that, you've got a sort of sunburst orange dial. You've got an inverted triangle with the 12 circular battens everywhere, except for the 9 o'clock position, and you haven't got a batten at all at the 3 o'clock position because it's making way for the date, given it is a Seiko NH35 movement. The hands are very much in keeping, again, with the watch it's homaging. So yeah, there we are. You got a lollipop on as the counterbalance on the second hand, and Cadisen printed on to the just below the 12 o'clock position, and you got automatic printed on just above the 6 o'clock position. Excuse me. That's obviously where you got the battens at the 6 and the 9. They're the same circular battens everywhere else except for the 12. So yeah, just to correct myself. It has got loom. I'll bring the loom up now. The loom on this was decent, actually. I've never really had loom on a Cadisen watch that was decent, so this was a very pleasant surprise to me, given, like I say, I've never really had it, so it was nice to see it on this watch. I think it's a very striking looking watch. As I said before, it's running a Seiko NH35 movement inside. So if you take the crown out, you'll see it will hack. I'll try and get it to the first position with the gloves on, see if I've got that right. There we go. You can scroll towards, you change the date, and so on and so forth. Once it's in the position where it pops from the case, turn it away from you, you'll hear it's charging, and that's what it's supposed to do, and you can screw it back up. No issues with the knurling. You'll see it comes away from the case a fair amount when you screw it up. Also works very, very well in terms of engagement and stuff, so no issues there whatsoever. But let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, guys, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. So again, excuse the gloves, guys. You're obviously not going to wear it with gloves, but you'll see what it looks like generally. You'd have also seen it in the outside conditions. And yeah, it's a pretty thing. The watch it's homaging is about 3 times the price, so it's up to you to decide whether you think it's value in that sense. But that's what it looks like. I think it's very, very pretty. So there we go. So just quickly, before we get onto the pants and Pukka, I'll just bring the other colours up next to me, just to allow you to make a more informed decision as to which one you'd like. Yeah, a few different colour variations to choose from. They gave me the choice which one I wanted, and for me it had to be the orange one, but you may prefer some of the other colours that I'm showing at the moment. So there we go. But yeah, that would now take me on to what I think is pants and Pukka about the watch. if you've ever watched before, you know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with Pukka. So what I think is pants. I think the watch generally is pretty decent, to be honest. But the two things that I think are pants is I'll go with the Cyclops. I think it's extremely unnecessary. It's not done badly. It is mineral crystal in comparison to obviously the rest of the crystal being sapphire. But I just don't think it needed to be there. It doesn't really add anything to the watch. And the press clasp, again, is in keeping with the watch it's homaging. But given they've gone for sapphire, which the watch it's homaging doesn't, I think a fully milled clasp, or at least a part milled clasp, would have been a really good addition to this watch. Why it needed to be pressed, I'm not so sure. So they're the two things I mentioned, is the Cyclops and the press clasp. What I think is Pukka is, yeah, I mentioned it already, sapphire crystal. I do like sapphire crystal on my watches generally, I can't lie. The lume, as I mentioned previously, I think the lume on this watch is better than really any watch I've had from Cadisen. So that's got to be a good thing. The movement, Seiko NH35 movement. If you're going to get a Seiko automatic movement in a watch, £100 and below, and this is around £85, I think it's to be applauded, really. So there we go. The bezel I mentioned, the bezel's really good. 120 click unidirectional bezel. Nice coining around the edge, good grip. And like I said, I could turn it very, very comfortably, even wearing gloves. The bracelet's very, very comfortable. Was easy to change the links out as well. Like I said, very comfortable. Conforms to the wrist nicely. And finally, the price. I think £85 for this watch generally. Like I said, I would like the Cyclops taken out and a fully milled clasp. But I think £85, if you can get some coupons and stuff, and you can reduce that even further, I think you got a banger of a watch for the price. So yeah, I'd say the price. So just to surmise what I think is Pukka, is I'll go with the sapphire crystal, lume, movement, bezel, bracelet, and price. And guys and girls, would I recommend this watch? I think I would. I think it's really, really cool. I think Cadisen for me, I think Cadisen are a bit hit and miss. I think this is one of them more hits of a watch generally. It feels much better made than some of the other watches I've had in previously. I still think the Cadisen Diamond's probably their prestige watch, if you ask me. But yeah, I think this is still a very, very good watch. Very good proposition for the price. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, more importantly. And maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch your time. Take care, guys. All the very best.